We're the Bowers family. We've been at two cities for 5 years and on our adoption journey for 2.5 years. So we started our adoption journey in January of 2021. Just felt a calling at that point in time to move forward, but it had been something that had been on our hearts for over a decade, both as individuals and as a married couple, and been just so fortunate to be a part of a lot of church communities that just had an adoption culture. So that desire had been fostered and grown, but then felt a calling in 2021 to start our own journey.
So when we started the adoption process, we were full of excitement and anticipation at how quickly God was going to work. We really believed that God was going to move in a year or less. We were so excited at the thought of welcoming this child into our home. We would have said at the time that we did not have any expectations of how God was going to work and when God was going to work, but now looking back, we absolutely did. Since the start of our adoption, we have done a lot of fundraising. Ultimately, we also sold our house to free up funds for our adoption.
We were at a pretty low point in our adoption process. We had just kind of ended our relationship with the agency we were at, didn't have the clearest direction, still felt a calling to adopt. And that's when we heard from a staff member at Two Cities that we were going to be the first family to receive the adoption scholarship. Not only did that breathe new life into our journey, but then the agency we ended up transitioning to with the scholarship money, we are fully funded. It was just a tremendous encouragement to our family.
For me as a mother, it has been very hard to live in this season of waiting with our children. At a very low point in this process for us, I was very overcome with emotion. And I know our girls asked me, did somebody die? And I said, no. We had a match that didn't work out, that we really thought was going to work out. And Annie just said, Mama, the Lord is still working, and it's just not our turn yet. And so to hear their proclamations of faith in this makes it worth it. That this season of waiting is growing them and shaping their faith in a way that if we had not walked down this journey, they wouldn't have had the opportunity to grow in this way.
One of the things that we've talked about is we have prayed for a lot of babies to be in a godly home in our home. But it's like, man, God, I know that those prayers don't go out and come back empty. So I hope and trust that our prayers for kids to end up in godly homes are answered. It may not be in our home and it's a wait, but in someone's home that loves the Lord and loves them. For us to be adopted into God's family, there was a tremendous amount of sacrifice that Christ had to go through. And so part of the call of adoption is, hey, are you willing to lay down part of yourself daily so that you can bring someone into your family? And now we are called to wait and trust and know that God's heart is for us and for this process. And we look forward to the day where we can look back and see just all the ways God brought things together to bring this child into our home.